Would a UFK fighter today if sent back in time to 1770 Earth, would he be the best fighter in the world? Hand to hand, and assuming he is in modern shape, probably edit. You account number 478 raises a good point. I assumed we were talking pound for pound. Everyone in this thread is really underestimating modern nutrition and science. Today's athletes and fighters are light years ahead of anyone in the 18th century in any physical discipline. Yeah, probably. Martial arts have developed a lot. Also depends on the rules of the fight. If the rules are super weird and restrictive, then maybe he wouldn't win cause he'd break rules on accident and get thrown out. But if it was like MMA rules, then yeah, he'd win. Also, I guess depends on weight class. Pound for pound, it would be a violation to his hands move too fast into thy head. As an exhibition fighter, one-on-one, unarmed, and with the current rules? Absolutely. Fighting outside of the ring isn't the same thing. Not saying that pro fighters are pushovers outside of the ring, but things change when you take the rules away. Edit, Jesus people. I clearly said they aren't pushovers. A pro fighter will obviously win the vast majority of one-on-one street fights. I'm just saying that they won't necessarily win every one, especially when the opponents can gang up on them, use weapons, and sucker punch them. If we're talking purely hand-to-hand, then yes, particularly with modern physical training. I mean, send back 6 FT4, 248 pounds John Jones to fight hand-to-hand against someone from 1770 and he is destroying them. No. Some absolutely hulking Andre the Giant peasant of that era with special person strength would jam a hand up his ass and turn him inside out like a gym sock. Guy with a knife wins. I'm just now realizing that the people here don't know what the UFC is. UFC fighters are the best fighters in the world today. What makes you think it would be any different 250 years earlier? If you sent John Jones back to 1770 to do hand-to-hand combat with the world's strongest, he may not win 100 of the time. But I would definitely put my money on him. Well, until they receive their first injury and have to receive 18th century medical care. Replaceability was huge back then. Real fight, UFC fight, the 1770 person would think they were dealing with sorcery. They'd get wrecked. Well, the trip is going to be very rough for the poor guy. Just finding the right food to maintain his diet is going to be a challenge, and he's going to immediately get food poisoning from the poor hygiene standards and lack of clean drinking water. So like if you schedule a fight 1 week from his arrival, he's going to be doubled over with stomach pain, be burning up, and the sickest he's ever been in his life. It's like how Westerners get sick when they travel to a third world country and eat street food. If he's got his wits about him, he should be able to help improve food safety standards, like telling the cooks to wash their hands before touching food and the town to not shit in the same river they draw water from. But that's going to take time and generate superstition. A heavyweight, yes. Otherwise, no. Weight classes are there for a reason. Why do you need to specify 1770 Earth? There's all the training in the world, but sometimes just meeting a really nasty CT can undo everything within a few seconds. Hand-to-hand fighting in those times was absolutely brutal, not necessarily about what holds you can perform or pinning an opponent down, but more fight till the death. Bite your f-king face off while trying to get a thumb so far into your eyeball that it goes into your brain. That kind of aggression has the outcome of generating some hard, nasty bastards. Good luck fucking one of those while wearing lycra and gloves. Well, if we substitute a modern elderly Irishman for the greatest fighter of 1770 and put him up against Conor McGregor, we can assume the 1770 fighter would barely notice he was punched in the face at all. ID MMA champ https://www.youtube.com watch equals skb5lf suzw https://www.youtube.com watch equals skb5lf suzw. In 1770, yeah, an average UFC fighter would probably crush everyone. Other parts of history not so much. Some men in ancient Greece and early Rome literally devoted their entire lives to war, fighting, physical fitness, etc. I'm sure there were some mean motherfuckers back then.